Hello guys, so I'm gonna stream tonight. That's not what this whole video is about, if you can read titles. Um, but I don't know time zones, I mean like, and stuff. It's 1:44 in California, so, please look it up on your own, because I don't wanna. But, um, yeah, so I'm gonna be streaming in like a couple hours, maybe 9 California time. I don't know the time zone for that, but I want to talk about something I saw on Twitter today. And know, if you've ever watched any of my videos other than just like my Pokemon stuff, you know when I when I talk about something on Twitter, it's not going to be good in the fact that like, oh, Bridget's released. Hell, find them. It's not gonna be good because I'm gonna get mad. So, I was browsing Twitter, I was listening to some Troy Sivan, and I was looking at Twitter moments. If you have Twitter, you know what Twitter moments are, right? Um, and so there's this Twitter moment out right now. You might have seen it, and by the time this goes up, you may probably have, one of you have seen it. So there were vegan protesters protesting outside of a small restaurant that serves meat, and that restaurant I believe is called here I can look Antler. It's called Antler. They sell deer and shit. So they were protesting. They were holding signs saying murder, right? So I don't know if there's not gonna be much background, but I really just want you guys to actually listen to this, if you can. So they were protesting a little restaurant, a small restaurant, like not a chain or anything, a small restaurant called Antler in wherever it is, and. Sorry, that was the video. So it serves deer and stuff. So they were protesting. They were holding out signs that were like "meat is murder" and shit like that. And the chef, what a legend! I'm applauding the chef, and so is literally every other sane person, no matter if you're a vegetarian, vegan, or a meat eater. He brings the deer leg to the front of the window because that's where they were protesting, and he starts cutting up the deer leg, and he carves it, he eats it right in front of them, which, like, come on, what a fucking god, right? Like, what an absolute fucking god, because that's so smart, because if you don't see what the problem is here with any of what I just said, the problem is that vegans, not all vegans, but this 5-person group of vegans decided they thought they should go to this small restaurant called Antler and protest that if you're eating meat, it's basically like you're murdering people. Okay, now I've met some vegans and some vegetarians in my life, just like I've met some Christians and some Catholics and Jewish people, right? But you can be whatever you want, and you can have fun with that. But if you try to push your thoughts on just somebody else, that's when it's like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, no, you don't get to say, oh, I can't eat meat because that's murder, apparently. And you can't say that I can't be an atheist because Christianity is the only real religion or some shit like that, you know? Or like, oh, you're going to hell because you don't believe in God. Or, you're a horrible person because you eat food. It's like, what? I'm sorry, explain yourself. So he cuts up this deer leg, and all these people are calling it murder. This guy records it. I'm sure if you have Twitter, you can look it for the moment, so I don't have to play it through awful audio, but one of the vegan protesters records it and says, I don't know what he's trying to accomplish here. And he's like, it's like, okay, this is a really old video, but if you know what I'm talking about, then it makes a little more sense. But do you know that video where this girl was talking to this guy, and he said his name was Humongous as a joke, and then she said, did you just sexually assault the woman, and whatever the fuck, and she was getting all, like, yelly, and she had that type of, that voice, like, the crazy person voice, right? Like, if you heard that video, you're like, oh yeah, you're fucking crazy. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you can look up Humongous, but after this video, but, right, that's a really old video, and it had that, like, crazy voice, like, this bitch is crazy, like, get me away from this bitch, she's crazy, I don't want anything to do with her, I was making a joke, and this bitch is crazy, goodbye, right? So, like, he had that type of voice, he wasn't screaming, but he had a certain type of voice, and I'm sure someone can relate to what I'm talking about. He had the voice of, like, definitely, like, trying to overplay the victim card. Because he said, like, cops arrived there as well, but not to fucking, like, call out the guy cutting the deer. Just to make sure there was no stupid protesting bullshit going on. Because whenever there's a protest, there's always has to make sure there's cops. Because I'm pretty sure the chef called the cops on the people, right? So he's all like, the cops are going in there. I don't know what they're going in there for. I don't know what he's trying to accomplish by this. And what I want to ask that man is, what in the fuck are you trying to accomplish by getting 5 fucking people outside of a small food chain, a small restaurant? It's not even a food chain, there's like only one antler. What are you trying to accomplish by getting you and your 5 fucking fuck buddies to stand outside with signs that say murder, bring a giant fucking banner that says murder and hang it up on their window? What the fuck are you trying to accomplish with that? What do you think your 5-man group of crazy cunts are gonna do? Do you think that, oh, maybe if we hold up this stupid fucking sign that says murder in red, that nobody in this restaurant will ever eat meat again? No. All you're doing is being a shitty person. Like, if you were sitting down eating a burger and someone came in or stood outside holding and chanting that, like, meat is murder, you're a terrible person for eating meat, and you should die, would you feel fucking, like, would you be put off of your meal? Like, here you are about to take a nice bite into this fucking juicy ass burger, and these batshit crazies come in, start saying, meat is wrong, you're killing animals for food. It's like, fucking what? I don't get the mentality. Like, you can eat meat, and then you can not eat meat. If you want to be vegan, if you want to be vegetarian, go for it. There's nothing wrong with being vegan or vegetarian. It's not like, there's like nothing wrong with it at all. It's only a problem when the few batshit crazy ones come out and start saying, like, oh, buddy old pal, if you fucking eat that meat, you're a terrible person, you murder things. It's almost as if they don't know that other animals kill other animals too. And it's so dumb, because I sometimes I get into arguments, in quotes, with other vegans on Twitter and shit, and they always use it's like, when you're, not to offend anyone, but when you're a really conservative Christian, or like a vegan it's like the same thing when you're a vegan that thinks you shouldn't eat meat, you know? In the fact that you use the same shit to defend your point. Every time I've argued with a vegan that Not all vegans, because vegans are good people too, you know. It's just some crazy ones, right? Sometimes when I argue with a vegan, they, like the bad ones, the ones that bring shame to their fucking name, they'll always say like, oh, you know, milk is fucking, if you milk cows, you're killing the cows, which isn't true, because if a cow has had a baby, they will die unless you milk them. So some people can argue like, oh, well, you forced them to have a baby. Okay, well, what if they don't have a baby? Like, they just fucking die? I mean, what if they do have a baby, like, naturally? Is, like, nobody milks them because it's bad to milk cows because you're killing cows when you milk them or some shit? No. The only thing I believe in what some vegans say is when they say to humanely kill animals. If you're gonna kill an animal, to kill that animal humanely. And there's a whole topic about that, but this is about protests. We're not talking about that, you know. So yeah, so just I hope you guys understand what was wrong with these group of people going to this restaurant, this single restaurant, the only antler in the fucking planet, I'm pretty sure, but that does what they do. And they all come to this restaurant, group of 5 people, and they say that killing animals is murder and eating animals is murder. And the fucking legend chef comes out and starts cutting a deer leg in front of them. And at first I thought it was gonna, like, when I checked into the moment, I thought a lot of people were gonna be like, oh, what the fuck is this shit? This is so gross. Why would you do this? But no, it's a lot of people just saying, like, yeah, they were disturbing this restaurant, and the chef did a good job. I'm gonna read a few tweets before I go on to something a little deeper. Here, let's see. This man is smart. I understand peaceful protesting, but you're clearly disrupting a business, making people feel judged, unwelcome to eat, right outside of the owner's establishment. Wouldn't this be classified as disrupting the peace? Why target a small business and not monopoly food chain? Like, that's smart. Like, if you're gonna, like, if you're gonna have to be a bitch, and you're gonna want to disrupt peace, at least go to a food chain that's big, not a little business that's just trying to make it out in the world, and that's probably that just is barely trying to survive, right? Let me see. There's this guy named Adam Radwanski. He said that he was at the restaurant the night of it, and he was saying that, like, the protesters didn't actually say anything about the foie gras. I don't know what that is. But they what do you call it? They were pleading him not to go inside because what they were doing to the deer. It was, I don't know. Okay, sorry, here's another tweet. Kind of strange to complain about this while disrupting this small business, potentially harming their business's success and the owner's employees' lives because your opinions toward eating meat. No, question mark, like a question, you know what I mean? Like, here's some people are complaining, saying like, oh, I'm disappointed with how the antler did that shit. Let's talk about the fact that it was already dead, right? It was dead. It's not like he brought in this fucking brand new deer. It's not like he had a pet deer or some shit and he just slit its throat and then fucking cut off its leg, carved it and ate it. No, it was dead. It was dead. It was a chunk of fucking meat. Fun fact, if you cut off your fucking thigh, yeah, that's what it would look like. Would look like, I think it would look like cow or some shit. I don't know. I personally have not cut off my fucking leg before. Maybe you have. Let me know. But now we're gonna go a little deeper in just the protests in general, because protests are fucking stupid. If you're protesting for the right reasons, and if you're not just protesting to protest, because there are people like that. There was a school walkout, and I know a lot of people in my school, so I know my school wasn't the only school, but there was a lot of people in my school who were like, "Oh fuck yeah, I get to walk outside for free, and I don't have to go to a period. I'm doing that." So, you know what I mean? Like, there's people like that just protest to protest and don't protest for the right reasons. The march, walk, rally, protest thing, I don't remember the name of it, but that is a beautiful protest. That is a protest that is for the right reasons, and it's for gun control, because there's a lot of gun violence in America right now. And that was a beautiful protest, beautiful march, whatever you would like to call it. But 5 people standing outside of a restaurant saying meat is bad is not okay. It's not a good fucking protest, you know? I would like to talk to those people that were outside the restaurant, and I would like to ask them if they went to the protest on the fucking, the gun violence, you know? Because if they did, that could mean 2 things. Either that they either genuinely fucking cared about it, or they just like to go to protest because they think that if they protest about random shit that they don't really care about, they just protest about anything, then whoop-de-doo, right? But if they didn't, it just means that I don't even know what it means if they didn't protest at that. Because it's like, you know there are people that just protest to protest. You really, activists and people are different. You can you can be an activist and protest for something, but you can't just instantly become a fucking activist just because you went to a single protest. You know? Like, not everybody that went to the protest in DC is an activist, because they're not constantly spreading awareness about it, and they just went on that one day. You know, like, you're still showing support, but you're not an activist, if that makes sense. So I got really mad though about these people at the fucking restaurant, because they're bitching about people eating meat. Like, they're bitching about people eating meat. It's so dumb. There's so much better shit to protest about, you know? There's so much bigger shit in the world right now. And you're fucking standing outside of a restaurant saying eating meat is murder? No, eating meat's not fucking murder. You know what is fucking murder? People shooting other people with guns. That's what murder is. Or fucking knives, or whatever the fuck. I was trying to make a connection to school shootings that have been 33rd not just happened, but like last week happened in the USA. So why the fuck are, like, you know how hypocritical that man that was recording is? Saying some shit like, oh, I'm gonna sneeze. Shit. Wait, am I? Fuck. Sorry about that. Shit. But you know how hypocritical that guy is that sat outside saying, I don't know what carving up a deer is gonna what carving up a deer is gonna do. What are you trying to show? What is you and your 5 friends trying to show? Huh? What is standing outside of a little restaurant fucking saying, oh, fucking eating meat, no, that's bad. What is that gonna do? What the fuck are you and your 5 little fuck buddies gonna do, man? Like, protest about something that is good enough to protest about, or don't protest at all. Don't just protest about eating meat because you're a vegan, you think that's what you have to do. Like, genuine question. I really hope if vegans watching my videos right now, please let me know your opinions, on your outlooks on this. And can I ask you a question on how you just begin to not eat meat? Because I've had 2 sisters that have been vegetarian, and I know vegetarian and vegan are very, very different. So, can you tell me how you go about being a vegan? Like, I can get you saying that treating animals cruelty, like animal cruelty is bad and shit. I agree. Treat animals with respect. Keep them happy. But at the same time, we've literally, like, been eating meat for fucking forever, you know? And it's just dumb. Now, before I sign off, like I said, I'm gonna be streaming, like, 9-ish, California time. I don't know the time zones. Sorry about that. And I do want to say one more thing about all this shit. And that is, to back what I said a little, like, a second ago. That, you know what? Fuck it. Okay. We've been eating meat for the beginning, like, since probably the beginning of time, right? We don't know what the beginning of time is, we don't know anything about that, but we've been eating meat. And, like, there's not a, like, just, we've been eating meat, right? And once this person was getting mad about me eating meat, and I said we've been eating meat since, like, fucking dawn of time. And he had the audacity to say, yeah, well, we don't have to keep doing shit. We don't have to keep doing shit that we've been doing forever. For example, we didn't always used to do school shootings. Motherfucker had the audacity to say that we didn't always have school shootings. So therefore, change like that is okay. He compared eating meat, he compared saying that we've been eating meat forever to that we haven't had school shootings forever. What the fuck are you? What the fuck are you? If you compare shit like that, you're an asshole person. If you stand outside of a small restaurant and complain about people eating meat, you're an asshole person. If you force religious views on your children or on your friends or literally anybody, you're an asshole person, yeah? You're just an asshole. Don't force views no matter what your views are. You can debate and you can argue and you can have a conversation, but do not force your shit onto other people, because people will make their own choices in life, because that's what people do. They have their own brain, so don't ever fucking try to change people like that by forcing your views onto that. It's just dumb. Alright, now, thank you guys for watching, and quick disclaimer, I know what I just said at the end there could also be used, so, like, someone could say, oh, so what about people protesting gun violence? That's a whole nother fucking weird topic, because protesting something like that and then protesting meat eating and religious views are two completely different things, because one doesn't involve the murder of innocent humans. And, you know, I mean, two don't. It's, yeah. So just, moral of this video, don't be a dick. I'm sorry that there's no gameplay. I would have edited this. I have editing software and shit. Just lazy. But thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Or stream. Please come. Please come to my stream. Thank you.